What's up, guys? Welcome back to Amazing RC. It's your boy Brian, and today we're all about our six-wheel drive Eachines EAT01. I'll tell you guys, I finally got enough done with this truck that I felt it needed to show off all of my hard work before I start burying some of this really cool engineering that I just got done with. Now, since I last spoke to you guys, we hadn't even had a running truck. Now, as you can see, we do have a running truck. Steering servo works perfectly fine. In just a moment, I'm going to take you inside and show you exactly what we have, but I did want to show you we do have a running truck. So with that said, and of course the battery's not going to go here, the running truck part isn't as much as I want to show you as I do the carbon fiber work that I got done doing, as well as the solid wood and carbon fiber work that we just got done with here in the back. And we're not actually done with this yet, but I'm far enough with it to where I'm super excited and I want to kind of show off what I had to do to get to this point right here. So this bed is actually red oak, poplar, and carbon fiber, and as you can see, it's still extremely rough. Some of it's probably still wet, so we're going to set this to the side here and kind of get inside real quick. One of the things that I noticed when I got into the stock six-wheel drive Eachines is that these two clips that hold down the cab are extremely thin. Now, sure, they'll probably hold up to a normal six-wheel drive truck, but this obviously is not going to be a normal six-wheel drive truck when we're done with it, as is not this one. This being Gary's six-wheel drive truck, this is the one that he has built for us here at Amazing RC. This is the truck that we are trading him. We're currently building it right now. If you haven't checked out the video where I go over every part of this truck, I'll leave a link to it at the end. You must watch it. Gary built an amazing vehicle. We are doing our best to equal this as close as possible, and I feel that we're getting pretty close. So once I got to a running truck, I wanted to beef up these latches, and I did with basically a small piece of carbon fiber. And what I did first to make sure that, you know, everything was going to fit perfectly is I went ahead and made a little pattern. And this is just out of an old chassis from an old car that I used to pan race back in the day. So I chopped one piece, I made sure it was going to fit exactly where I wanted it, and then I went to the carbon fiber. Now for this, I went with a 2mm. It's just a regular weave. It's the one that goes diagonal. Now we also have a plain weave carbon fiber, which I'll show you in just a moment, and I used in a different place on the build. So I made sure that the grain to the carbon fiber, they both went in the right direction, or at least the same direction on both sides, so that they matched. And now, being that the latches are carbon fiber, they are super beefy, and you can toss this truck around by grabbing onto the cab now, and I'm very, very happy. Now, one of the things that I wanted to make sure still happened as far as the Eachines EAT01 is I wanted it to still go cab forward and rest. That was one of my main things. You can see that Gary went with a whole brand new cab. Everything on here has been completely customized, touched, or upgraded, and I love it. I cherish it. This is one of my all-time favorite builds that I have. So for our build, I wanted to use the same cab, the cab that comes with it. And Gary did that in the very beginning as well. You can see he's got a painted cab here. This was the first cab that he had on his truck. And he come up with this killer idea, scrapped this, finished it, scrapped it completely, and then did that. So for that, Gary, I thank you. He also sent me the second cab, which was great. So you can see he's painted the cab here. This is obviously the same exact one. And we're going to do the exact same thing. Not the same color, but we're going to paint our cab as well. Now, one of the things that the stock cab comes with, on one side it comes with the spare tire. On the opposite side, it comes with these really cool little containers and such. Well, seeing as how I had a second spare tire housing now, I wanted to do a spare tire on both sides. The reason being is because there are two different sized tires on this truck now. On the back, we've got our dualies, and they come with a brand new squishy tire from Banggood.com when you purchase these really cool aluminum rims. So for that, I have a matching wheel and tire size on this side as far as the spare tire. One of the things that I noticed is when you got into the single tire in the front, when you had this skinny little tire as a single, it was very insignificant at best. So I actually swapped to a larger single tire on the same red aluminum rim. Well, what happens if that tire blows? Well, I now have that size spare tire on this side, and then I harvested a part off of our second cab over here to mimic the opposite side. And I did that for a very specific reason. It wasn't to house the second wheel and tire, but I plan on doing another piece of carbon fiber that connect these two pieces together, and it's going to be just a bit taller than the rest of this cab, and it's going to have a row of lights in it shining forward, possibly off to the sides as well, maybe some kind of system up top. And remember, we're going to do on-off switches as well, so we're going to be able to control every bit of the lights that are on top of this entire truck from the transmitter. So we're going to do something really cool, headache wreckish up here as far as carbon fiber. And then you remember our decking here actually sits right through this whole piece and on top of the screws that come through the bottom, and it locks in place. Now later on, I'm actually going to screw through this Lexan plate here all the way through into the bottom of our decking here, so it's not going to come off unless you want it to. As for the deck, this just needs to be sanded on both sides. I'm going to clear coat it. Now, I had already tested to make sure that this carbon fiber was going to stick with the wood glue. So I've got this cool little piece here that I did earlier in the day, and I'd since clear coated it just to kind of see how it would look. But after sticking this in the vise, after it was fully dry, I smacked it with a hammer a couple times and it didn't come apart. So as long as you prepare your carbon fiber as you would before you were going to wood glue a piece of wood, 120, 150 grit sandpaper, you're good to go. Just make sure you get it clamped down real good, wait a few hours, sand her down, one solid piece. So we've got red oak, poplar, and carbon fiber. Now as you can see here, we just cut out carbon fiber strips. I run them down. I left them long so they stick up here, and once I hit this with a 5-inch orbital, it's going to flatten it down like it's one piece, just like I did with this. So once I get it done to that level, I'm going to go ahead and clear coat this entire thing, and then we're going to screw this thing down, like I said, from the Lexan below to where it's not going to go anywhere. And then I'm still not exactly sure where I'm going to go after that. I'm going to do something else back here. You see what Gary's got going on, and I love it. To be honest with you, I'm thinking ramps. I'm thinking 2 ramps above now, and I don't know about straight up. I think I may have them fold over or do something cool or be stored somewhere and just clip in and go down. I'm not exactly sure. Obviously, the focal point of this is the, deck itself. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I've got the 2 custom carbon fiber pieces here. You remember I talked about it in the last video. I did finish the carbon fiber piece on the inside. This is going to be the electronics tray. I'm thinking of popping about 8 or 9 holes throughout this. I don't want to use Velcro. I want to actually be able to zip tie stuff to it, and I want to be able to separate things. Instead of having the normal zip tie tube of wiring, I want to make it look kind of cool in there. I'm not exactly sure I'm going to be able to accomplish that, but I'm going to give it a shot. I do at least have my carbon fiber electronics tray, like I said I wanted to do in the beginning. One really cool thing about this cab is this entire cab obviously comes off, and then it comes apart in like 4 large pieces, revealing not only the doors, which I have, peeled off here, but it also gives you this cab and access to it. So once I get this painted here, I'm going to have this sanded down. This will be attached, And then basically all we have left is LED lighting. Structurally, everything is done. We've got our aftermarket drive shafts in. We still have open diffs. I didn't do anything to the gears, and I didn't do anything to the suspension. My budget ran thin. I really went for it with the aluminum rims and the dualies in the back. It was kind of the street truck kind of vibe that I wanted to go with. So everything is rock solid up front as far as we could take it. So we're going to get this thing painted. We're going to get everything put together. I'm going to light it up like a Christmas tree. And then we're going to bring you the next video with a 100% complete truck, hopefully very soon. So guys, I'm going to jump right back into this. Until next time, it's Brian, Amazing RC. And well, the next time you see this, it just might be the second baddest 6-wheel drive Eachines on the planet.